Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show. That's right. And we are above 3-digit episodes so far. And that's why we have a new refresh look for our breakfast show where we come to you with fresh new trading idea. That's right. And also a market outlook. Now, thank you very much for all your last support over the last 100 episode that we have. And also, we did look at the market for what it is for the last 9 months, starting back from November. And I think some of you would have followed me, and we did our 100 episode. That's right, on Monday. If you have missed this, just go over to YouTube at Trade VASA or subscribe to our YouTube channel and be informed for all our video upload. And there's a lot of good trade ideas and also lesson learned in our 100 episode in here, and some of those trade has registered triple digit return. Of course, those should be in the first segment of the year, that is around November. That I think many of you would have known that. But right now, let's look at what we have for you today for our intermediate level. That's right. And our refresh look at our breakfast show definitely would have featuring new trending stocks. That's right, for intermediate trader. That's right, who enjoy using trend as a trade. That's every Wednesday, 10:15 today. Right now you are here, and with our SMARTRobie, we're going to show you how you can utilize some of this trade idea. Of course, congratulations to our yesterday Warren Tuesday, together sponsored by Macquarie Malaysia in here. And thank you for those who supported us in our contest. That's right, our Warren shout out contest dated 3rd of August, and we have a prize money up to 500 ringgit being distributed to 10 winners, and they all walk home with just answering very simple voucher 50 ringgit. So make sure you catch us again in our Warren shout out every first week of the month. That's right. Now also together with our sponsor in here, Rakuten Trade, and for those of you SMARTRobie user who open up with Rakuten Trade may win 50 ringgit voucher, so check it out also, that one. That's right. Now let's look at our news. Headline for this morning is no other than the rubber glove ASP prices, or what we call average selling price, that is continued to form a downtrend. Now many of you did ask me, despite what we've seen, the profit that you see on the top side here, a large profit, let me just show you here, but why isn't the charts going higher? I think this is going to contribute to the what we call either is expanding margin or decline margin. Let me just show you one example in here. Let's look at top glove. We switch on to top glove, and let me just explain to you in here. So if you look at top glove, TOP, top glove, and if you go over to the fundamental, and this is quite important to understand what we call the expanding margin and declining margin. So from here onwards, and this is in SMARTRobie in here, you click on to the 4-year trend, right, and you will see this charts coming out in here, and what you want to really see is the expansion of the margin. Now if you see from this chart here, let me just click here. Now first thing you'll see, the margin in 2019, that was before the COVID crisis, was only 7%. Of course 2020 was a good year, you expand to 24%. That tells you the average selling price were contributing to the higher ASP prices, were contributing to the higher profit margin. And this kind of profit margin usually are enjoyed by technology company when they use a lot of high tech. But think about it, rubber glove is not so much high tech. Anybody can come in and do it, right? But if you look at it, let me just switch over to quarterly basis. You can click on to the quarterly basis in the chart here. This is a quarterly basis. So make sure you download a copy of SMARTRobie and use this facility in here. So you can see right now, you can see this is where the yellow line, right? If you click on this one, you can see profit margin went from 24.53, but on the third quarter of 21, that's where we saw this declining margin. And right now you can see top glove continue to come down. That probably tell you that margin will probably shrink to around below the 45%, and that pretty much explained from a fundamental viewpoint. Now you know, okay? Now you know why is the declining margin in here. Something just to update our fans in here. Now also, let's move on to our next news that we have for you. right, is on the manufacturing. Now remember, manufacturing overall sentiment continue to be weighed down by the Delta variant in here, and this report talks about the domestic manufacturing for the month of July were in the contraction territory. Now what does contraction territory means? Contraction territory means that the manufacturing are struggling to remain above the 50%, and that's what it is down at 40% right now, so compared to the month of June. So that's you, the overall manufacturing is down. That tells you also why this morning our KLCI chart is down. And let's take a look at our KLCI chart morning down this morning here, and if you look at the KLCI market today, and you can see why we are from the chart wise. Okay, let me just switch to a wider chart here, and from this point onwards you can see, let me just expand it, from the red pentagon that we have way back on 27th of June, the market could not sustain and continue to break down. And you've been warned very early. When you see yellow trend zone, that's the time market goes down. Most people, they sort of sit in front and watch the light, when the blinking light on, and not to do anything. And that's one of the what we call beginner mistakes. That's why now those of you who've been following me sometime would notice this trend that you see, the green pentagon, will be like a beacon, just like a beacon, like a lighthouse in the sea, showing you the path to the shore. So if you're on the ship, you would not sunk at the rocky coastline. That's right. And this is what SMARTRobie is supposed to do. It's more like a beacon or lighthouse in there. And if you ignore it, you will be in danger. That's right. And you can see right now, market continue to down. And this morning, I think, if you look at it, and we do have another political situation in our market. Have you seen before, right? With the Pakatan, Perikatan, and as well as Pakatan, and also the opposition from UMNO withdrawing their support for the current government, and they may looks like a collapse in the government, and that's what the market is down 12 points, going to 1488. Now there seems to be no end to the political situation here, so the best we could do is really bank on the hot sectors that we've seen so far right now in here. So let's look at the market for what we have here. And you can see right now, the other next stocks that we have is Doofu. Now, Doofu net profit is up 61% in the second quarter in here, and their revenue grew 20%, up to 88 million to 73.4. Let's take a look at Doofu so far, and Doofu seems to be stuck in a sideways. And remember what kind of industry that Doofu is. Doofu, no doubt, is in the technology, but they are in the hard disk drive component, right? Hard disk drive is really only do generally when the Bitcoin start to move up. Right now, Bitcoin is still trading below the 40,000 US dollar in here. And I'm sure many of you heard about the Bitcoin story. Maybe perhaps another session, I will update you more on the Bitcoin. But definitely looking at Doofu on the hard disk drive component in here. Let's take a look at the chart wise. And switching to a wider chart here, so you could see the market really hits a resistance here around the 4 ringgit and 70 cents in here, and already turned red pentagon. So you can see turned red pentagon in here. So it's still supported at 450. So this morning, okay, let's look at the chart here, and how far is the livestock prices? Okay, it's up only 0.4%. Okay, up 0.4%. Now let's take a look at what we have for you for our next story. Now, next story is on SKP. Again, very similar to the industrial sector that we talked about. And early on, we did update you. Now, notice with the COVID-19 Delta variant, you can see the PMI manufacturing index continue to in contraction territory below the 50%. And that's why we are seeing many of these stocks tend to struggle a bit. But this next story in here is EMS, maker of Dyson SKP vacuum cleaner, very famous for that one. They seems to be embarking on the major expansion. Hopefully with the major expansion, we see a bit of expanding margin, then you see the stock price going higher. Now, all things being said, RHB has sort of expected the sales and profit to improve significantly. So let's type SKP here, SKP Resources. And let's look at the stock chart, stock comment here. And right now you could see it is about to break the new high at 180, and that seems to be a very good thing. Look at your trading plan if you want to trade this stocks in here. And RHB has a buy call for target price at 2 ringgit. Right now we are 180, so another 20 cents, perhaps another 10% upside from here. A relatively, in my opinion, from a chart wise, a very low risk trade. Okay, if the market able to break out, then we'll see this will likely to go to $2 in here. All right, now let's turn our attention now to the US market. Let's switch over to SMARTRobie US. And last night the market did close well. That's right. If you look at last night on the S&P 500 hitting here, okay, S&P 500, and you can see the market S&P yesterday closes almost close to a record high, 4,000, just above me, 4,423. And remember, we've been talking about the 4,500 level, just another 80 points that we are going to be there very, very soon. And no doubt about it, we are getting there. Now, all things have said before is to the Delta variant. We all know that Delta variant is coming out, but the news so far for the US market hasn't been negatively impacted. This is partly due to the continuation of low death and in a way mid levels of hospitalization, depending which state you're looking at, whether it's blue state or red state. But having said that, the number of cases has definitely shot up to about 100,000, and it's very similar to something that we saw coming to the fall, which is the autumn season, and they kind of worry with it. But I do think that likelihood of a shutdown is not, because vaccine is freely available and you can just walk into any pharmacy or a local health center and you can get your vaccine in here. So all things being said, this has caused the market to really to make a new breakout soon. So watch out for that one. The 4,500 will be coming soon. Now, for those of you who agreed with me in here, check it out in here and give me a comment and what you think, what you see so far. And this is a market update. Now, also on the earnings season that we saw, Alibaba earnings was pretty good, but stock has dropped. And this was also part to the it's out but stock is down, no doubt about it. But this is also due to the China regulatory crackdown. And remember the NIPO previously, right, where it was last minute was halted and was suspended due to the stronger critique of the US regulatory on NIPO against the Beijing administration. Now, like it or not, the Beijing administration do not like any of the corporate big tech to talk bad about their government. And we have seen that right now also, where the technology stocks like Facebook, Twitter has gone so big that the government, US government, have to kowtow to them, and they don't want that to happen for the Chinese market. And that's why we're seeing a lot of China regulatory crackdown also on education, the tuition one that's after work. Then you have also Meituan, which we talk about it shortly on the yesterday. Those of you who came for the Warren Tuesday short up, I think we cover a little bit on that one too. No doubt. Let's look at Baba right now. The stocks results is out, so you check at Baba and switch to a wider chart in here, and you can see Baba stock chart, stock comment here. So you can see Baba is broken down between the what we call the green Pentagon early on, but it's broke through on the red Pentagon somewhere in 4th of July, and right now we are in the August month and it's still yellow trend zone in here. So the results are preventing it from going lower. But having said that, we have not seen the low yet in here. We yet to see whether the market will retest back the low or will continue to go downwards. My take is that the market will likely to hit a plateau right now and likely to move sideways before we see another big move. If you can look at the green Pentagon and red Pentagon we've seen so far, the Baba was at possible minus 5% since the red Pentagon that was on the what we call 6th of July. Like it or not, Alibaba is a tech stock and it should consider to follow the same movement that you see in the US market. Now let's move on to the Singapore side, SGX, and the news that came out that Keppel is going through a privatization road, and that's what SPH, Singapore Press ending up in here. So that's a really cheer. Eventually we've seen the Capital Corp, which used to be in the oil and gas, taking it private in here. So the stock to watch out is T39, and switching over to Singapore side. And let's take a look at the chart wise. And here you can put the STI market in here, and it does look like the market is in the blue trend zone, ready to move higher. But again, we have still a lot of news unsettling in here. It's not in one of those really bullish trend that we see in here. But T39, let's look at T39 for the Singapore Press holding here, and you can see it's a very nice trend going forward. So T39 in here. So here you can see the market continue, and you also have volume coming up in here. So that's a very nice trade in here. All right, so that's for the reporting on the Singapore. All right, now let's look at some of the stocks that we were talking last week from our past trade idea for the intermediate level. That's right. Now we have talked about two stocks, CY Park and Inari, and this is where the refresh look on the market in here. We're going to come back to you shortly on the trading plan for the advance. So if you look from here, last week we talked about CY Park. Okay, CY Park on hindsight on the 28th, right? This is where we pick up here, but the market failed to break higher, and partly we have a lot of climatic volume in here, and there was a distribution, another distribution. The market pulled back up in here, so it had failed to take off from here. And again, it's very important we keep talking about it. The sector, right, remember right now is technology. Industrial sector is not hot, so usually the market will just take up and then distribute back in here. The overall sector need to be strong, and that will allow the smart money to push it higher. So right now it's just more of a distribution at the top, pull back again, and it's not ready to go higher. It's not going to go lower in my opinion in here, depending going forward what's going to. So the next one we have in the list is Inari, is up 3.8%. So the 28 was here. Okay, and just show you how it looks like, and you just pull it up and scream it down here, and you can see it's about 3.5% in here. So that's really one of the benefit on TradingView. Those of you who don't have TradingView, do subscribe to TradingView. And something we want to talk about for tonight, our masterclass trade VSA preview. That's right, really one of the big benefit, and we'll be doing next weekend. So we want to preview this course for many of you very loyal supporter and our top fans in here, something that you might want to consider to enhance your knowledge and education, to learn further about us, the tools, the methodology, our coaches, and also the different market we look at, the Singapore, US, and Malaysia. Remember the fishing pond concept that we talk about in here. If our fishing pond is not too well, where can you go? Definitely the US market does present a good opportunity right now in here. So those are the two stocks. Of course, JHL, which we picked earlier, on the 7th of July, that's the stock trade idea we talked about. It has gone up 18.5%, and MI has gone up by 17.8%. Of course, the tech sector continued to be hot, so the JHM in here, and on the 7th of July, and this is where we were. So just pick this and draw it up to here. All right, so you can see. Okay, let me just bring this down a bit. Yeah, okay. 7th of July here. You can see this is a far different version of what you see in SMARTRobie up here. It's a very interactive, very good. Go over to TradingView and get a copy of this. No other software, trading software or trading what we call charting software can beat TradingView in my opinion here. So if you look from here onwards, this chart does give a 18% in here for JHM. Okay, next one we want to look at is MI, which we talked about it on the 7th of July. MI Technovation, and you can see 7th of July was somewhere around here, right? 7th of July, so here, and we pull out, and it is 18% returned so far from 8th of July, which is almost about a month. You need to get some time for it to run, all right? So that's a nice trade, and most of the chart in here. So I do hope that some of you who have technology stock or technology share, just pencil in on the right hand side comment. I'm happy to know of your some of the stocks that you actually bought, and be great to know that too. All right, let's look at the new plans that we have for you. So far, for the episode 101, that's right, for 4th of August, we are looking at Greatech and UWC. And how do you pick them? And basically what you want to do is to go over to KLCI, and you go the night before. Okay, the night before, you click on SMARTRobie chart above here, and you look at just above me here, trending stocks. Okay, hit the trending stocks, and you will see these are the stocks in here. So let's look at Greatech, and what I have for you is something refreshing, a new trading plan, and this is how we want to do. So first thing we want to do is to cut a snapshot. All right, take a snapshot in here. All right, so let's bring a snapshot. So we have here, let me just switch it over, and now we have Greatech, and that's the stock we'll be picking up for our trade idea. So one of the things we do is like this, okay? We have this, and what we do a screenshot. So I have a screenshot software in here. And also we have one of our new indicators for those of you who are plugged in, is this one called Market Trendline Plotters. So it's an automatic blocker, and we intend to release it to all our plugin members in here. And you can see this is how the market able to look at the past, where the trade is likely to go higher in here, of course, right? So this is more like a base on what we call a linear regression calculation in here. So you can see this trend line is popping up in here. And let's look at Greatech from our chart, okay? What is the 678, and usually we want to buy at the trading plan, okay, at the trading plan in here. So let's take a look. So we take a snapshot of this one in here, then we move over to our trading plan, our entry. Okay, so this is our entry. So check out our entry first, and we hit Greatech 0208. Okay, 0208. Let's look at the what we call the trading plan. Okay, trading plan. Hit trading plan. Now remember, we want to do this yesterday, 685. Okay, so our entry is 685. How do we know that? Think to trade Greatech only if we exceed 685. Okay, so it will be 685. Okay, so 685 is the level in here. And let's look at the current prices of Greatech. Okay, now is already 695. Okay, close at 688. So are we in or not? Yes, we are in. So you want to buy, you want to enter, okay, at 685. Okay, 685 and higher. That's right. If this is a trending stock. So we are in at 685 in here. Okay, what is the stop loss? Okay, so the stop loss, we can go back to our trading plan, and let me just bring this up again. Okay, trading plan, our stop loss is 563. Okay, how do I know that? Again, I go to, stop loss is 621 and 609. So again, I go back to my chart here, so I'll key in, okay, 601 or 629. Okay, whichever the earlier one we want to do. Profit target. Okay, profit target, we also use the trading the plan that we have just now there. Okay, and it will be 710 and 710 and 722. Okay, target profit 1. Okay, 710. Okay, TP2 is gonna be 722. All right, so those are our two profit target. We also have here what we call be alert, be careful. And because right now what we want to do here, and basically let me just show you what I want to do, is to draw the trend lines. Okay, draw the trend lines in here. So you can see from this chart here, we draw the trend line, and what we're going to do is to do the stage 1, stage 2. Okay, so we have here, all right, you can take a picture of this when you finish. So this is what we call stage 1. Okay, then we have this nice line change. Of course, this is what the best entry that you can get. If you enter here, this will be the first entry, E1. This will be your E2. Okay, so right now we can draw this trend line up here. Okay, so the things that we will talk about in here is what we call alert, right? So the alert part is here. Okay, so this alert is something that we need to be very, very careful of. So this is something what we want to do. So of course here we expect the market to see some sort of resistance. We don't want it to go up in a parabolic as long as the chart, okay, as long as the chart stays along here. It's probably going to hit this, come back here. That's a good thing. Okay, that's what you want to do. So you want to keep into that and ensure that the trade goes up. So this is how you want to see. Again, this is for intermediate level. If you are beginner, you follow the Monday one, the Pentagon guide in here. And for those who want to learn more, definitely something you want to check out tonight for our masterclass. Do come for that one, and we're going to show you more how to do that. So let's go to be what we call alert. Be careful. So what we mean by be careful, okay? So here we want to type out. So when you want to be alert, if okay, what we call if market fall back to to what we call the below trend line, fall back to below trend line, okay, or the other one is the gray moving average, the gray level moving average, the gray line moving average, okay, the gray line moving average is what we call the intermediate support. Okay, so your market for that, you need to be very, very careful. So right now it's a nice takeoff. We have our profit target, we have our entry level in here, okay, and this is the first thing. Our first alert, number 4, item number 4, is that we need to be careful. Okay, now what happens if contingency plan, if the market were to break down and all of a sudden the tech stock doesn't do very well? What do you do? Okay, so this is where we fall back to item number 2, which is our stop loss. So let's look at where's our stop loss, and I'm going to switch back to here. Right, so our stop loss, as here we have here 629, and where do I get the stop loss? You can see from here. Oh, sorry, stop loss is 621. Okay, 621. So this will go to 621. Okay, that will be a stop loss, and then 609 will be your ATR stop loss. So this one is 609. So this is what we call a trading plan. Construct this trading plan when you are trading. Now remember also, we are trading what we call a stage 2 stocks. This is for intermediate level stocks. Okay, means you need to have some skill. For beginner, stick to, of course, when we do the Friday one, this coming Friday, we will do the premium alert. That's how we differentiate between, because we felt that if you have some experience with the market in here, trending stocks, for those of you who like to trade trend, okay, and of course if you are a beginner, you have bought around the what we call Pentagon here, then you already in much earlier. So we allow people to either they go in stage 2 or in stage 1, and that's what the whole purpose of this refresh. I hope you like this format in here, and this is what we intend to do. And what's the contingency plan? So if the market were to fall to 629, and remember 629 is our 621, this is our likelihood of our stop loss. Okay, so if the market falls around here, this is the SL stop loss. If not, we continue to go. Of course, in between, in the middle, there are parts and parcel of the trade where the market start to form UT. What do you want to do? That's something I think you need to invest in knowledge, understanding price and volume work, understanding what is UT, understanding all those, and that definitely will benefit you in the long run, like many of our masterclass members and students who continue to do well, and how to avoid major disaster. All right, so remember there are 5 steps in here: entry, stop loss, profit target, when the time to be alert. Of course, the alert, we are thinking only on the downside. There's also another upside alert that you must know, and also what is the contingency plan if the plan fail, which we will resort to item number 2, which is our stop loss. We know that. All right, so of course the red pentagon also comes into place. So that is something very refreshing, and I hope that you will like this so far. All right, so we're gonna probably just go on to the next item that we have. And let me just bring this down. Let me just save this first. All right, and just take a look and take a snapshot of this screen print here, and that will definitely help you. All right, let's move on to our next stocks that we have. The next stock is UWC. Okay, UWC. So remember, this plan just now I did you. It's not you doing during live. You do it the night before. So make sure you have the night before when SMARTRobie updated around 10, 11 o'clock. All right, this is where you do your trading there, or just before the market open. You can get up early in the morning for a cup of coffee, and there's not too many stocks anyway on the trending stocks. You'll be ahead. Like me, when I do it at 10 o'clock, I'm already late. Right, the market already moved. You saw just now, right? For Greatech up to 688, you could have got in at 685, a better price inside here. And the same, the next trade idea is UWC. Again, we can turn on to our trend plotter in here and make sure you get a hold of this indicator. We will be releasing soon this indicator to all our new members. And remember, the Trade VSA package that you will subscribe eventually will have all these new feature, absolutely no extra charge. And we continue to update and upgrade our tools for you, just like one of the tools later on I'll share with you. Okay, so this is the 2 trade idea going forward. All right, we done that and we done the trade. Now also, so far, how's your portfolio been doing in here? For our trade SMARTRobie portfolio from January to June, we are in January to July. Actually, it's January, July. We are down from the high that we have we're down to just below 10% in here. And my take is, how has your portfolio been? Do share with me how's your portfolio been. Type it on the right hand side or on the comment below and share with me. All right, and maybe think of how we can help you with our education and our tools and our tips in here. And of course, one of the things, the new tools that we release out for this new intake August is our seasonal return. And if you look at our seasonal return, basically it is something I want to share with you here. And this is the seasonal return that you have on our website. So once you log into our Trade VSA Pro dashboard in here, and you could see right now what we have so far, the KLCI total returns is one of the worst. You can see so far up to August, it's minus 8% in here. And if you look at overall the grand return from 2016 to 2021, we are down minus 7% for KLCI. That says a lot about our market and where we are heading to. Of course, there are other things you can do, and you can type UWC, right? You can type in Inari, okay? And you can see a whole lot of, the whole point, this is something I will explain tonight in our market masterclass preview in here, a very good tool in here. And when you're done, you just log off from here. That will take you back to our sign in here. All right, so this is something good, and I think potentially will help you. This is how I look at the market every morning, so make sure you get these tools from Trade VSA. All right, now let's go on to our hot sectors in our SMARTRobie here. And SMARTRobie here will be on the hot sectors here. So you can see right now, okay, the technology and constructions and also industry is the one that is coming back. Okay, I not too sure with this movement that we have. Of course, for some of those who are contented with the technology sector that we have, you might want to check out our QR code here for our updates or our tutorial here to understand what are CNS and line change and spring so far. And of course, our premiere for our August intake will be on the 13th, which is next weekend. We are doing our 3-day our 3-day workshop, but we spend over a period of 4 days. That's right. We'll spend actually about Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, 5 days. That's right, it will be 5 days. It will be 13, 14, and 16, and 17. Okay, I forgot to put in that there. So to those of you who have signed up for our masterclass, congratulations in here. You can, and for those of you who have signed up previously, you can come back for a resit, and definitely we have new material in here. This is one of the best courses that we have done. We continue to update it from our 5 coaches in here, and the price that you pay, the investment, you will reap benefit from it. And if you have been struggling, this is something you want to consider, our 3-day masterclass. And tonight we're going to be doing a preview of our 3-day masterclass at 9:30. There will be a Zoom link in here. So this is the Zoom link here. Join us tonight for those of you who want to know more about our course preview. And I also talk about something in respect to something that we teach in our masterclass preview is how to avoid market collapse and spot a market bottoming. That's right. I was going to show with you how we can use the Trade VSA tool and the education, something we teach you in our August intake to spot market bottom. So you can get at the low price in here and able to reap benefits from the overall market if the market continue to move upwards. That's really right. What we want to do is to allow you a chance to make back from the money that you perhaps potentially lost over the previous time in here. So that's something good over. And right now, okay, we're going to turn to our stock review for our members and our top fans. Of course, those of you who want me to review, if you are one of our premium members or our plug-in members, combo members, just state that on the right hand side and the stocks you want to. If you are from the public, please state your profession and your stock code. So I let us to get to know you and the type of person who join us, and also allow the other members of the public who join this live FB knows about you in here. So let's take a look at the stocks that you want me to look at. Just pencil those in. I'll be happy to look at them. Okay, we have Lai Kok Fong, and Lai, please tell me what is your profession, or are you a masterclass member or not? All right, just pencil inside there. We got Yang, please let me know your profession, and Sally also. So we have Sally in here is a student. All right, are you a student from university or a student of what? All right, because sometimes if you're a housewife, you're a housemaker, just pencil in there. It's also good for me to know. All right, or you're a student at the university. Right, so we will know, because we also need to know the level of exposure that you have. All right. So make sure you reply me on that one. So we have, okay, we got Lai, who is a masterclass member. Let's take a look at the PIE. PIE, again, when you turn on this, you can see the trend, the automatic trend plotter from our Trade VSA is still pointing upwards. You can see in here, that seems to be good. Right now, it pointing upwards. So that tells you the trend likely to go higher. Okay, you're looking for entry. The entry will be look at the trading plan. Okay, yesterday trading plan means you'll already be in right now. I think so. I think this is a good entry too. Just be note of the old high around 340 in here, right? And there is a likely what we call earnings season come. So this is probably responding to this earnings. So this is a good point to go in. I think that today, like what you do for Greatech, do the similar plan too. All right, we have Cool here, JCY, and VS. Now JCY, like you know, broke through the ATR stop loss. This is very unfortunate. And we see green pentagon in here. We like the market to actually follow up, but somehow for this one in here, it did not take off. Instead, we have a 2%, and the market's not ready yet for JCY. So it looks like this one is still need a bit of time before it start to move up. Okay, let's look at VS. Now remember, JCY is also on the hard disk drive. It's not the technology stock. Okay, VS is better. If you plot the what we call this one here, the trend is down. Let's look at the JCY just now. I didn't see the trend. Okay, you can see the trend for trend plotter is still sideways. You can look at that, right? Still sideways here. Right now, based on what we've seen from the past, what we call the summation in here, the trend plotter for the Trade VSA is still pointing sideways in here. Just now VS is good. Okay, VS is just nice, right? JCY, if we do move back up, time to exit. All right, just make sure you have that in your trading plan. Okay, let's look at the others here. Any more stock? Okay, we have Young here is a businessman. All right, thanks a lot, Young. Okay, we're gonna look at Young's trade here. JCY. Oh, I just talked about JCY just now. Okay, now this is a very important trend plotter, which is the Trade VSA. So eventually, I think once we tested enough, we're gonna get the member to use market stages trend line plotter. Okay. That's the one you should get that one too. Okay, we have another one, D&O. Okay, DNO, you can see this is the support level. You can see here, the trend is still up. So if you just plop this away, that will be just nice. This trend plotter here, right? We want to make sure it's continue to hold up here. Okay, so that's the trend plotter. Okay, you're with Sunway, Sally. Okay, good. Sunway, huh? My son also will be going to Sunway also. Okay, let's look at that. So that DNO is fine. DNO is fine. Doofu. I think Doofu came out with a good announcement in here. Right now, Doofu has come down to this very low part here. So be careful. This is the so-called last support from the trend plotter here. If you just extrapolate here, this will be the last trend spotter. So it should hold this level. If you do break, alert, alarm, people, that alert will come out, okay? And you have the ATR stall. This is a part that you need to exit. Because usually what we're trying to do, the trend plotter is like what we call a stage 2, continue a stage 2, right? And this is where we have so I hope you like this new indicator, and this is something we would give to the plugin, but we normally want to test it out first, make sure it's pretty good before we release it to the public. It's just that we have a lot of indicators that will help many of our members in here. Just think of it, what it can do to help your trades in here. All right. I think Young, you're not a masterclass member or plugin member. Young, you've been following me for a fair while, being a businessman. Okay, just so interested to know. Okay, we have Jessica, a retired ATA IMS. Okay, ATA IMS was trending down. There is a trend change. You can see, right? The trend has moved up, ATA, and that was because due to the good result that he had. It's broken up. You can see the trend was trending down, right? The market broke through it. That's a very nice one. So eventually this trend plotter will start to trend up again because it is a lagging indicator. They look back to the past, and this is where the market broke through. So we have a catalyst change, right? The market broke up, and this is a very nice one here for ATA. Continue to hold it in here. As I said before, now this trend plotter will start to plop up, and you will have the what we call staying above the gray line, which is the monthly moving average, a very good one here. So ATA INS. Okay. Okay, we have Young here. Many of our supporter and our masterclass. Tafit. Let's look at Tafit. TAFI. Tafit is very nice. You got NS, very powerful, and the trend setter trend is still in a stage 2 trend up here. Very nice stage 2 trend. Just keep it that way. Okay, that's a nice one here. JAX. JAX trend is sideways or start to tilt downwards. Just be a bit careful in here. So again, we want to see like what we saw for ATA INS. Okay, once you have this, the mount level to break up, that will be great. Okay, so usually the market go through stage 4, stage 1, and then it's going to pick back up again. So again, this is more of a forecasting likelihood where the trend is. As long as the trend stay up, just keep it. But once the trend start to change, you just be a bit careful with that one. Okay, this is for JAX in here. So definitely you want it to break above the 52.5 cents, just above this line in here, and that will be the so-called the change from what we call a stage 1 to a stage 2. Now remember, this is again something that I will talk tonight in our show in here. All right, we have JAX. All right, so I think that's about it for today. So I hope to see some of you, our masterclass. Of course, our masterclass are welcome to join our masterclass preview, because I'm going to talk about the how to spot market bottom and avoid major disaster in here, right? And for those of you who have retired, right, might want to consider also our courses and our intake, because you got a lot of time to practice, isn't it? Okay, and that's great too. Remember, if you don't invest time and money, okay, time and money is important. How are we going to improve our performance? Look back to your portfolio over the last few years. How well have you done? If you've seen our portfolio, we are still in the positive territory compared to the minus 8% in here. All right. Now it's important that we continue to invest in our time, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel in here to get all things updated, and also not to forget our continuing collaboration and our educational thing here. So if you are first time, do make sure you join our Telegram in here, and don't forget to review our Google Play Store in here. And all things said being equal, I'll see you tonight. We'll talk more in our masterclass preview in here. So make sure you sign up for the Zoom, or you can go over to our Telegram, which is above up there. So this site up here to get the sign in for our Zoom session at 9:30. I'll see you tonight at 9:30. Bye bye.